Hello. How's everybody? I'm here. Hope somebody else shows up. It'd make it a much more interesting show if I wasn't just sitting here talking to myself. It's always better if there's other folks aboard. It can't just be me. Because I know what I'm going to say, so there'd be no point in saying it. You know how that goes. So, yeah, it's Saturday. Cloudy, rainy day here in good old Custer Park, or Custer Parkinsaw, as we like to call it around here. So, yeah, I'm just hanging out here, waiting for 420 to happen. Couple minutes off yet, but I'm looking forward to the daily buzz. So, can't wait. Haven't gotten high yet today, so totally looking forward to it. Needless to say. Oh, let me turn the light on here. There, that's better. Now I can see. So wherever you are out there, come on in. I'm just sitting here waiting. I got a joint right here. I packed me a cone. So I'm ready whenever 420 is ready, which would be within a minute, by the way. Within a minute, it will be 420. So I'm ready. Hope somebody shows up to celebrate it with me. That would certainly be nice. Because I'm counting down the seconds here. It won't be long, and I'll be sparking this baby up. So come join me, and we'll have a happy 420. Counting the seconds here. Won't be long now. Seriously, I mean, we're less than a half a minute away from this. Oh, happy 420. First one a day. Come on, Vern. I needed this. Yep. It's the weed of the week. First hit I've had out for this stuff. It's caught me by surprise here. So welcome to the Hurricane Spliffy Show. I have a runny nose today. I don't know if it's the weather or if it's the foliage around here. The flora. We have entire farm fields around here that haven't been plowed under yet. And they're filled with goldenrod. Anyway. Ooh. I got to catch the guy who's been fingering up my glasses. There we go. So we'll get to the news. I have it right here. So, U.S. District Court Judge Dabney Frederick agreed to stay her order earlier, ruling that invalidated the eviction, the non-eviction notice. You know what I mean? The moratorium on evictions. So she's going to stay that order. She ruled that the CDC didn't have the authority to. They didn't have the authority uh, to stay to not allow people to be evicted. That it was up to Congress to do that. It wasn't the CDC didn't have a right to do that. Well, she's staying that order until the federal government appeals her decision. She said that she stated that the CDC's interest in controlling the spread of COVID-19 and protecting public health outweighed other factors, including a potential loss of revenue by landlords. So she sees the reason why they did it, but she just doesn't think it's legal for them to do it. So that's what's happening there. So the moratorium continues, and hopefully on appeal, it'll continue to continue. So we'll see what happens there. Now, Thursday, the CDC relaxed their mask wearing rules and said that you don't need to social distance. Hey, buds, welcome aboard. So, the CDC said you can relax the mask wearing and social distancing and everything if you've been vaccinated. Well, don't, okay? That's my advice is don't, because there's a lot of idiots out there who are not vaccinated and aren't wearing masks, and you don't know which ones they are or who these people are. So you still need to protect yourself, okay? And the reason I say you still need to protect yourself is because you're still vulnerable, even if you've been vaccinated, okay? There are 8 New York Yankees and Bill Maher who had all been vaccinated and all have the virus, okay? Now they got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Deborah, welcome aboard. Now, these 8 players and Bill Maher all got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and they're all infected, okay? Now, they show no symptoms, but they were tested because they're required to be tested by their job, and that's how they found out. So I got a runny nose today. I don't know why. I'm sure it's just seasonal allergies. And I didn't use my Flonase today. So my advice to you is pay no attention to the CDC guidelines on not wearing masks and social distancing, because you're still vulnerable, okay? So personally, if I know the people I'm with and it's a small group and I know they've all been vaccinated, yeah, I'd relax it. But as far as going into supermarkets and places like that, I'm still going to wear my mask, okay? Allergies are horrible here, my friend. Hope you feel better. Yeah, me too. It's just the constant nose blowing. That's the thing, you know. I have Graves' disease anyway, so I have constant post-nasal drip. So that's one thing, you know. But when allergy season rolls around, then I have that on top of everything else. Yeah, I'm going to keep wearing mine, okay? I'm not falling for this CDC stuff. This thing isn't over, okay? It isn't going to be over, ever. Okay. This is going to be like the flu. Okay. There's going to be a variation of the COVID-19 shot every year for the rest of your life. Okay. You can count on it. Just like there's a flu shot every year for some variation or another. Yeah, you're right. Two people are too complacent. They think, whoopee, we got a shot. We can do whatever we want. No, you can't. Okay. Look at how many variants there are already out there. This thing's going to continue to mutate, and every year you'll have to get a different shot. Okay. Hey, Al, welcome aboard. Rock you like a hurricane. Huh? I'm like a hurricane. There's storm in my eyes. So regardless of what the CDC says, continue to wear your mask in public. Okay. You go to the store, wear your mask. I know Walmart and several other stores have said, don't wear your mask. That's bullshit. Okay. Don't do it. Okay. Wear your mask. Don't take that risk. Okay. If Bill Maher and 8 New York Yankees can get this virus after being vaccinated, don't take the chance. Okay. Don't take the chance. Oh, so, this Colonial Pipeline, you tend to be a mouth breather. Okay. Me too, because I'm stuffed up all the time. So, anyway, this Colonial Pipeline that was cyber attacked, I wanted to talk about that because, wait, what do we got going on here? My mask is cool. It has a beautiful bee on it. Oh, mine says I took my meds today and it's got marijuana leaves all over it. I went in on Thursday to see my doctor, who's the head of the infectious disease department at Rush. And she says the African variant is way worse than what's here. And she says it's coming. I would not be surprised. My name means queen bee in Hebrew. Oh, cool. Yep. I truly believe that, we got to keep wearing them. This thing isn't over. It's going to go on the rest of our lives. There's going to be a COVID vaccine. Anyway, this Colonial Pipeline that was cyber hacked, and they're complaining throughout the South that gas prices are over $3 a gallon. Well, let me tell you something, folks. Gas prices in Illinois have been over $3 a gallon for 2 months. Okay? Don't ask me why, but we pay so fucking much for gasoline here. It's unbelievable. Okay? Seriously, 2 months, we've been over $3 a gallon already. So I don't know what people are complaining about. You pay $3.76. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? And they're bitching in Georgia because now they're paying over $3 a gallon. I have to say that the connections that I've met through YouTube have meant so much during this past year, especially. Yes, you're right. I mean, who else can I talk to? You're past 450? Wow. Go eat a fucking alligator. I don't know what you guys are talking about here. It's been tough. Gibber Deborah? Okay, gotcha. Got fat fingers or something, Al. Got to hit the right keys. So, yeah. By the way, and this is where I have a problem. Now, we know that the Russians were behind this cyber attack on this pipeline. And I don't know if you know this or not, but they paid a fucking ransom to get that thing up and running again. And I don't think they should have done that. It's crazy, isn't it? I like my own company, but damn, the isolation sucks. It sure does. I'm stuck in the house with my wife and her mother. I really feel for you there, man. I really feel for you there. I'm lucky. My mother-in-law is long dead since the early 80s. So they paid. Yes, they paid. They paid the fucking ransom demand. That's the only reason the pipeline is up and running. Okay? They paid. They're also done the same thing to the Scripps healthcare system in San Diego. Life-threatening, hospitals and doctors unable to access records. Yeah. Yeah, see, we can't be paying these ransoms or it's just going to keep fucking going on. Now you all know why I rip massive weed. Well, I think we'd all like to. So, the orange guy and his cronies played down the impact of greenhouse gas emissions and delayed the release of an EPA report detailing climate change during his administration. So Wednesday, the EPA finally released the disturbing report that was held back for 3 years. Startling changes that the Earth's warming had on parts of the U.S. Like the destruction of the year-round permafrost in Alaska, winter ice on the Great Lakes, and what did I write here? Oh, and the spike in summer heat waves in the cities in the United States. Now, the loss of permafrost in Alaska is a big deal. Because I know when I was up there, it was nothing like going camping in the summertime and being able to just dig a hole and stick your beer in the ground. Okay. I'd hate to see them lose those built-in coolers up there. Last administration went out of its way to screw us for years to come. Absolutely, especially climatarily. Okay, if that's a word. But I mean, yeah, it is some hard ground. You're right. But it made a cool cooler, you know. It was really nice when you went camping. That's the one thing you didn't have to bring was a cooler. Just dig a hole. Yeah, so these are all signal signs that the climate change is intensifying. Info was suppressed for 3 years by Trump. EPA now has a free hand to inform us of climate change and will not be stifled under this administration. So that's nice to know. Wow. The weed of the week is kosher dog, also known as Hebrew National, by the way. What you got here, Debbie? Waiting with popcorn in hand to see Matt Gaetz walked out in handcuffs. Yeah, well, I got a story on him too. Maybe I'll make it the weed of the week story. How's that? So it's kosher dog, 27.24% THC. And it's kind of a middle of the road hybrid. Great name for weed, kosher dog. Well, it's also called Hebrew National. So it has two names. Back in the very beginning of The Tonight Show, when Steve Allen hosted it, he used to give away Hebrew National salamis. It's a little bit of trivia from a very old man who actually remembers that. So Joel Greenberg, former Seminole County, Florida tax commissioner and buddy of Florida GOP Representative Matt Gaetz, facing 33 federal counts from identity theft to sex trafficking of a minor, decided he worked out a deal where he's pleading guilty to 6 federal charges and turning belly up, so to speak. And he has plenty to say about his relationship with Matt Gaetz. So Matt's in deep shit, okay? Although it'd be interesting to see what happens to him, because I'm hoping it's a whole lot of shit. Okay. I'm hoping it's a whole lot of shit. They can't do enough to that man to suit me. Pompous fuck and Trump ass kisser. Okay. So I can't wait. Okay. And until they slap the fucking cuffs on that bastard. So things are getting a little nuts over this vaccination shit. The encouragement being offered by some states. West Virginia will give you a $100 savings bond if you get vaccinated. Maryland is offering $100 to state employees who get vaccinated. What's this? Love the fact that Greenberg put all of his crimes along with Gaetz in his pardon request to Trump. Yes, he did. Yes, he wrote it all down. Well, he was instructed to. Okay. So California needs to do the same. Oh, offer savings bonds? Well, see, now Maryland, they're giving $100 to state employees who get vaccinated. And New Jersey, get a shot, get a beer. Shot and a beer in New Jersey. But the wildest of all is Ohio. Get this now. In Ohio, you get the vaccine, you got a chance to win $1 million. Okay. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, a Republican, by the way, he announced that over the next 5 weeks, they will draw 5 names from those who get vaccinated during that period. And then they will award $1 million each to those 5 people. Okay. And this will be paid out of the National Coronavirus Relief Fund. And one child, they're going to draw the name of one child, and that child will receive a full 4-year scholarship to a state university. And that includes room and board and books. So let's all move to Ohio and get a shot. I think that's really cool. Ohio's going all out to get people vaccinated. And this coming from a Republican governor, that's really cool. So, Seeker, welcome aboard. Yeah, I laughed when I heard he had confessed in an attempt to get a preemptive pardon. Yes. What an idiot. You're right. He is an idiot. Somewhere else is giving free beer to those who vaccinate. Yeah, New Jersey. Yeah, get a shot, get a beer. Yeah, woohoo, Ohio. Yeah. If I'd have known, I'd have gone to my sister's place and got a shot. Obviously, you're living in the wrong place. Yeah, we all are. But yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, 5 people. I mean, that's a lot of millions to be given away like that. That's really cool. So Biden reversed some more of Trump's bullshit executive orders. Let's see here. Green card applicants no longer have to show that they have health insurance or the financial means in which to buy their own health insurance. Okay. You know who was targeted there? Any poor person in the world. So that's out. You can actually be poor and come to this country, kind of like what it says on the Statue of Liberty. We don't have to turn it around anymore. We can leave it facing the way it is. And then what else did you do here? Oh, and the U.S. government will no longer prosecute people for damaging statues. Okay, public monuments and that sort of thing. Not long ago, people were bribing doctors for a jab. Now local governments are bribing the people. Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's all because of this mythology about the vaccines that was spread by Fox News, the Trump station. And you're right, access to vaccines in poor neighborhoods is still terrible. And people in Illinois are having difficulty getting vaccinated, and I don't understand why. We're a democratic state, but we're not vaccinating in a lot of these locations that I hear about in other states. Walmart and Walgreens and CVS and all that kind of stuff. It's not going on here, which surprises me. I know Dog's been trying to get a shot, and he's registered at 2 different places. Nobody calls him. So I don't get it. I called the state and complained, and then the next day I got a notice. So maybe he just needs to complain to the right people. I did. So, so, so the under that monument damaging thing, if states didn't do something about people damaging monuments, he was going to cut federal funding to the states. Okay. If they didn't take action against people tearing down like Confederate monuments and stuff, he was going to cut funding to the states. So that's not going to happen anymore. Okay. So if you have a Confederate monument in your town, go ahead and tear it down. Okay, please. People worried about vaccination ingredients, but appear to not care about the wacky and dangerous synthetic chemistries in our food, water, and household goods. Yes. I'll give you an example. I went to cardio rehab and they wanted me to eat margarine. I said, look at the ingredients in margarine and then look at the ingredients in butter. Thank you. I'll take the butter. Okay. Cream and salt. Okay. I'm not putting all those fucking chemicals in my body that are in margarine. I'll stick with the cream and salt. Thank you very much. Okay. I'll use it in moderation, but I'm not putting all those fucking chemicals in my body. Besides, I have another reason for only eating butter, and that has to do with Lady Bird Johnson. So I'll have to tell you that story some other time. But anyway, he also revoked the order curtailing the rights of social media platforms to control content, because he was putting so much shit up there on Twitter that was a fucking lie, and they started censoring him. And so he wrote an executive order last summer claiming that they couldn't do that. So now they can. So need to get back to more natural living. Yeah. Say my plants were willing and bolted to water, and I'm back. I don't quite understand that, but welcome back, Stony. Yes, indeed. So I couldn't do the Ozzy shit last week. I don't know if I got slammed, definitely got slammed by YouTube. So I don't know, or their tube, I guess it is now, right? It's their tube. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Tuesday music shows anymore. I'm going to see what happens this Tuesday. Tune in, Stony. I'll try to do that Ozzy show for you again. Yeah, Ozzy haters. That's what they are. As I understand it, the only new ingredient in the vaccines we have access to is the virus material. The other stuff has been used in other vaccines for long enough to not call it new. Yeah, that's why they were able to get it out so fast, because this is something they've been working on for ages. What do you think of Ozzy with Post Malone? I don't know. I'm not familiar. You love The Who. I featured The Who already. You must have missed that show. Yeah, so he revoked that order, the social media thing. So So they had an investigation. Oh, you do remember. Okay. They had an investigation conducted by the Louisville Police Department's internal investigation, internal affairs, into the Breonna Taylor shooting. Okay. And the conclusion is that not a single officer should have fired a single shot. Okay. Regardless of whether they were fired upon. All right. For a number of reasons. They didn't have a clear view due to the layout of the hallway. There was poor lighting. Their rapid gunfire was uncalled for. And their target was not isolated. They didn't have that isolation of their target. And for those reasons, they should not have fired. By the way, 32 rounds were fired at that time at the scene. So by the police, not the single round fired by her boyfriend is not in that count. So it was definitely overkill, emphasis on the kill. Anti-vaxxers talking about it being untested, but I think that's untrue. An anti-vaxxer worried about the ingredients yet, but don't mind formaldehyde and worse in their beer. Yeah. It was tragic, Deborah. It was, the whole thing was, yes, 32 rounds they fired. Yeah. And the one police officer was the only one that was charged, and it was for discharging a round through the wall in her apartment into the apartment next door. Okay. Well, that's what I've talked about so many times, Stoney, is that we shouldn't be hiring ex-military to do a police job. Okay. Because first they're trained to kill. And they're never trained to interact socially, not in the military. I mean, their names are taken away, they're given a number, they're demoralized, and they're trained to kill. Okay. Maybe they should just carpet bomb. Yeah. Well, that's what they did in Philly back in the 80s. Yeah, well, they should line up all the cops and carpet bomb them. Not all go stupid. I don't know. I agree 100% with that. I also believe there should be a nation's database of officers. Absolutely. These guys go from one police station to another, take their bad habits with them, you know. What they don't take with them is their bad record, you know. Carpet bomb cops. There you go. I think so. Well, that's all the news I have. So we're just chatting now. Okay. But yeah, police in this country are totally out of control. Okay. It's funny, you know, I see the police when I'm in Amsterdam and I'm not afraid of them. My nuts don't get tight, nothing like that. Okay. It's totally different here. Warrior been an aspect of human from beginning. It's an impulse for some, but that is not impulse for violence, just impulse to assist with hunt, defense, whatever. Look for warrior, not soldier. Exactly. Cheers, smoking and trimming cherrygasm. Ooh. So one of my 5 crapped out. So I'm down to 4 plants, which is just what I need. I can't grow any more than 4 plants in those 2 tents anyway. So I'm good. So I'll be getting that going. So they're just little guys in the red cups right now, but it won't be long. That I'm getting some yellowing on one of them. What would that be? Overwatering? Could I be overwatering? I can't imagine what else would be yellowing a plant this young. Solo soldiers. Could that be what it is, Stoney? Might be hungry. Hungry for what? I got it in living soil. What can I give it that would spark it up? The others are bright green. I have to run, but thank you, my friends. Much love. Love you back. And hope to see you soon. Have a good day. What can I give them to green them up? The others look great, but it's that big one I showed you on the show. That's the one that's looking kind of yellowish. Just a little, you know. Nitrogen, okay. I can do that. Kelp. Katie, welcome aboard. Veg food. Buy a small fish. Buy a small fish under it. Go to the bait shop, get me a minnow. Let me have 1 minnow. You think they'd sell me 1 minnow? Of course, I go in there with green hair. They think I'm crazy already. So, but even when I lived in the city, I lived across the street from a bait shop. I don't know what it is. 21 minnows and a lamb chop. Okay. Do I feed the lamb chop to the minnows? Or? Fatten them up? Of course, I got a creek right here. I could get myself some golden roaches out of the creek. I just need a minnow trap. There's a lot of golden roaches in this creek over here. I could probably catch enough to sell them to the bait shop. You live by a grow heat bread factory. Okay. Lived. Oh. I don't know. I'm having trouble with my eyes today. I don't know what's going on. There. An Oro wheat bread factory. There we go. Smell divine. There was a neighborhood near my house in Chicago that was a soybean processing plant. And did it stink around there? You'll print larger. Okay. No, it's my left eye. It gives me problems sometimes. But because I have one eye that I see close with and one eye I see far with. And when one of them's fucked up, it fucks up my vision completely. But see, Illinois grows corn and soybeans. It's all they grow in this state. Okay. So those are the two major crops in Illinois, are corn and soybeans. So there's a huge soybean processing plant on the north side of the city, and it stinks for blocks. Went through Gary, Indiana in 1968, Smoke City. Yeah, well, not anymore. They shut down all those steel mills. You know, put all those people out of work and started importing it from Japan. You know, I live between two steakhouses. Need I say more? Oh, sounds wonderful. No, I'm surrounded by cornfields, soybean fields. They don't smell like anything, but they produce a lot of oxygen. I'm happy with that. So, but yeah, the soybean processing is a smelly, smelly operation. Saw a pic on the net of a tree whose center had a dark spot which resembled a fish. Wondered if someone had planted a fish along with sapling tree. Interesting. I'm surrounded by weed. And LOL thought not a ponder. Well, I used I planted some a rose hedge in Chicago at my house, and I went over to the bait shop and I got me a whole bunch of minnows, poured them in the trench before I put in the rose hedge, and it was a beautiful rose hedge. But they didn't come up looking like fish. Just so you know. They didn't smell like fish either. Speaking of fish, the keg is now doing a Friday night fish fry. You can get a cod sandwich or 2 pieces of cod with fries and coleslaw. Friend once ate 12 fighting fish and a goldfish at a party. Okay. I saw a photo that had a tree root. It looked like a sleeping Sasquatch. Oh, cool. There's a bar up in Lake County, Illinois called Minnows, and they serve minnows in their drinks. And if you swallow the minnow in your drink, you get invited to an annual picnic. So they ask you if you want a minnow. Yeah, they don't just serve you one. But then Lake County, Illinois is very strange. I've seen some marvelous artwork in grain of wood. One was some cheap paneling, which had a mind-blowing image of a wizard. Every who looked saw it. I'd have pulled that one off the factory line for sure. For self, yeah, absolutely. Then chase it with a mescal worm. There you go. There you go. Maybe you do the worm first, don't you? I mean, first the bait, then the fish. Yeah, that'd be cool. An image with a wizard and a paneling. So I know a slice of bread that did not, a slice of toast that did not have the image of Jesus on it, sold for $35 on eBay at one time. Yeah, you're right. It could have been sold at a high end. See fish swimming with every mouth when you talk. Each sheet, the lizard would be smaller. The wizard, not lizard. Yeah. Yeah, right. He'd be diminishing and yeah. Each slice of the wood. You would think. Although there might be just that one slice where it's absolutely perfect, you know? Yeah, it is cool. Wood's cool, you know? It's a shame it costs trees in order to have the stuff, you know? I guess just we have to make more fake wood that looks cool. Because then we can make our own wizards in it, you know? Whatever we want. When firewood cutting, I often saw burled wood and other unique stuff we could have sold to for far more than firewood value. Yeah, I'm sure. Real big doobies on it. Wizard wood. Yeah, there you go. I'm probably one of the few people in the world who bought the Cheech and Chong Big Bamboo album and still have the paper from it. The rolling paper is still intact. Never tried to roll a joint with it. So I don't know why. I mean, you certainly would have thought I'd have tried something like that, but I never did. You had 4 big bamboos? How many joints did you roll? You bought them only for the paper. See what I mean? I still have one. If we ever get together, Stony, I'll take it up and we'll roll one up. What do you say? Is that a deal? They hold an ounce? It's been a minute. Well, we'll each bring a half ounce to the party. How's that? You're back. Oh. It's Gyros. Euros. Euros. Gyros. Okay, that's a date. Meet you halfway. Damn spell check. Bruce Pizza. No, gyro sandwich. It's good stuff. Don't you have gyros out there? Well, it's more of a wrap than a sandwich, I guess. Except it doesn't wrap all the way around. Some good Greek food. Need to send dog and eggs. Oh man. I got to put this thing down. It's got too many coughs left in it. Besides, it's almost time to spark up a new one. Let's see if I can get this to my mouth. You have a big Greek community there? Chicago does too. In fact, you can find Italian restaurants. You could probably find a Chinese restaurant owned by a Greek in Chicago. Most any kind of restaurant you can find owned by a Greek in Chicago. Not to mention a slew of Greek restaurants. A spark in a hurricane? Can it be done? I don't know. Egg salad. AJ's in Wilmington are the best? Nah. Don't come close. You got to be in the city to get a really good. AJ's are good. I'll give you that, buds. They're good, but they're not the best. But since they're the only one in town, I go there. They're the only one around, in fact. So, you know, but there are some in Chicago that are better than this. Places that make their own. Okay, they make their own gyros. Yeah, those are places to go. The Greek Orthodox Church has a festival that is a blast. Best food, homemade baklava. Doug's ex-wife makes baklava, really good baklava. She's Greek. Well, I'm not in town here to get Nicky's. That's true. Yeah, they have a Greek Orthodox church. Where is that? I think it's Plainfield. And we go up there for their festival. Moussaka. Oh, I love moussaka. That's like my favorite Greek dish. Absolutely my favorite Greek dish. I can eat some moussaka. Nikki's Nookie? I don't think so. Yeah, Nikki's Nookie. Okay. with internet, and since people pay to ship global, person has opportunity to sell things like interestingly burled logs and book matched flitches, which result in wizards in the wood, etc. Yes, you're right. In fact, I bought a unique, one of a kind, a glazed plate for my bestie as a Christmas / housewarming gift for her place in Arizona. But as it turned out, she liked it so much she kept it here rather than take it to Arizona. It had a lizard on it, lizard plate. It was kind of cool. But yeah, if it wasn't for the internet, I couldn't have bought that particular plate, you know. So, you know, it's I bought it on Etsy. So, you know, there's a lot of people selling their handcrafted stuff on there. You know, and they certainly couldn't have sold it to me if it wasn't for the internet, the interweb. So you're right. I mean, it's opened a world market to all of us, you know, which is kind of nice, really. Yeah, it's you know, it's made the cottage industry. You know, it's really helped out people who do little things at home and such. I mean, look what it did for the business of the woman who made the Bernie mittens. You know, or people who make mittens like those. So, I'm as high as an 8th grader who found his mom's vape pen. Big White, welcome aboard. I'm doing fine, thanks. Ooh, happy 420. You tuned in just in time. Happy 420. We were just talking about how the interweb has opened up a world market to all of us and how cool it is to be able to shop the world market, and how for the cottage industry, it's really opened things up for folks like artists and such to market their wares, and crafters. You know, you don't have to just sell locally anymore. And it's nice to be able to shop the world, not just your neighborhood when it comes to special things, you know? So that's where we're at in the chat. Just thought I'd bring you up to date, Big White. In that small town there, surely weren't many buyers for the kind of stuff I wanted to sell. I tried, but not very hard. Nowadays, one can email photos of burled logs to high-end builders who pay. Exactly. With the net, you have access to the world. Precisely. That's just, I mean, it's a wonderful thing, you know. You know, it started out with eBay, and now you can do it everywhere, you know. You can do it independent of everyone. I mean, you know, you get your own domain name, set up your own site, you know. Sell whatever you like, even yourself. So, it's a wonderful thing, product wise. I mean, because you can compete with big corporations on your own. Hookers online, yeah, they have them. Or with access to the world as the platformer allows. Yes. Yes. Well, you're right. As the platformer allows. But I mean, it takes very little to set up your own website and, do it all on your own. You can use, what is this? GoDaddy or whatever. Oh, it certainly did make people lazy. I could be doing something else and I'm sitting here talking to you. I mean, I could be fishing or something, Actually, I wouldn't go fishing today. It's raining. So, but check out Blacktail Studio on YouTube. Makes 10 to 30K tables and countertops. Oh, well, then why would I bother? Ain't no way I'm buying one. And I'm just kidding. Of course, I'll check it out. In the 90s, as I backpacked around the world, and backpacked it around and worked here and there, it was online hookers and porn, which people were trying to convince me onto the internet for. Oh yeah, right. I mean, that was the big deal. It meant like getting out and shopping. Oh, I see. Okay. Rain don't matter. There's a few guys out back fishing the pond. Really? No, they're wasting their time. Can't catch nothing in the rain. Fish don't fall for that shit. They're kicking back on rainy days just like everybody else. They don't go out in the rain. They might get wet. Fish don't want to get wet. They don't do that. They stay home when it's raining, just like everybody else. Didn't you know that? Fish don't ever go out when it's raining. So, what else is up, folks? Anything new? I mean, I went through the news, but there was nothing new there. You don't drink water because fish do it in the water. Yeah, well, water's for washing. So that's what I always thought. I never thought it was good for much else. So these fishermen can't read either. Big signs say no fishing. Oh, really? So, well, maybe they don't have any hooks. Maybe it's just bobbers and they just wanted to stand in the rain, pretend fishing, Maybe they just don't have sense enough to come in out of the rain. They're not fishing. They just don't have sense enough to come in out of the rain. Bet you that's what it is. Are you in Wilmington? Because there might be a couple of yellow hammers. That might be what it is. See, Wilmington is notorious for inbreeders. Oh, you're at Mom's house. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were near Wilmington, Wilmingtucky, as we call it here. They're legendary for cousin fucking. I don't know how else to put it, but there's a lot of people with the same bloodline. You know, it's like those kind of family trees. So they call them yellow hammers there. That's a nickname for folks from Wilmington. Not that they like being called yellow hammers, but so people make fun of folks from Wilmington. It's like they're a local joke, you know. I mean, there has to be some town around somewhere that you can make fun of, you know. And Juliel sent me a message in the middle of the night. They have a new 3-bar light they want me to test. I said, send it. Well, yeah. Sure. I married my mother's uncle's brother's sister. I can't even figure that out. I can't even figure that out. Your mother's uncle's brother's sister. Yeah, are you in Wilmington? And Buds, you're the one asking it. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, all with the same last name. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is hillbilly heaven out here. You come from people in Kentucky? Far away from, huh? So, there's Interstate 80 is north of here. I don't know, 20 miles or so. And everything south of Interstate 80 is referred to as the Southland. Okay. So I'm 20 miles into the Southland. And believe me, it's blatantly obvious. Anything north of that is far more cosmopolitan. Okay. It's like somebody built a wall. Okay. And I'm south of that wall now after living 50 some odd years north of the wall. I'm now in hillbilly heaven. So it's really quite amusing. So it's very different. And but I get compliments on the music I play at the bar, which is strange because when I'm not playing the jukebox, there's country music playing on the jukebox. So, but I can't be the only one talking here, okay? This is supposed to be conversation. It's called chat. So chat back at me. I'm waiting. Are we becoming an influence, buds? So far as the sponsorship goes. Chat back at you. Okay, buds. Don't you remember Festivus? That was one of my grievances on Festivus, is that I want conversation. I don't want to sit here and talk to myself. There's no fun in that. You're supposed to talk back to me. Oh, there we go. Well, have the light sponsor and Green Bicycles nutrient sponsor. You're set. Yeah, you certainly are. Welcome to YouTube, Spliffy. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for the sarcasm. Well, you're flying free, buds. Don't cost you nothing to grow shit. Just the electric bill. Now, if the electric company would sponsor me, you'd be good. Yeah. Yeah, just sign up for solar. You get notification on that, sign up for solar. Your live panel rocked, and your vids are great. If I had a product to test and to share, I'd be looking for one like you. Yeah. Maybe Dog will let you test out those watering rings. I called on the solar program. Now I get lots of robocalls. Oh. You guys just doing the thing is good. I have a robocall blocker on my phone. It blocks any calls that aren't in my directory, you know. So if I don't have your number in my phone, you don't get through to me. You can leave a message, but that's all. That solar program costs $15,000. No, there's a thing. where you just sign up and your power comes from solar, and it gets applied. It's, how can I explain it? It doesn't, nothing changes. You get the same ComEd bill, but the power comes from solar sources instead of from nuclear source. Okay, they just shift it. That they just, it's not. They have a solar grid, and they have the nuke grid, and they draw it from the solar grid instead of the nuke grid. And all you do is you sign up for that, and it's just to shift the energy. That's all it does. It doesn't change anything else. Oh no, not the panel deal. This is something different. I know what you're talking about. No, this is something different. You don't answer any number you don't recognize? Well, I just didn't want to listen to the fucking thing ring all the time because I get a zillion goddamn robocalls. Every once in a while, I'll call the number back. And of course, it's always some guy who doesn't know who the fuck I am. And I tell him, your number is being used in a robocall. Just to let him know. Not that it matters. But I've had people call me too for this, same thing. Doing it for the thing. Proceeds are a bonus, not the core motivation. Higher authenticity, and so having greater weight in consumer factoring. Yes. I just do it so that the source of my energy is solar instead of nuke. We have that here. You get blocks of power. Brings down your bill because of no fossil fuel surcharge. Oh, cool. I don't know if there was a deadline on it or not, buds, but they sent a notice out. And you could switch over to solar. Nothing else had changed, though. I don't know if your bill would go down or not. Maybe. I'm not sure. I've had that for 10 years. Oh, nice. Well, solar is something new in Illinois. But then we don't have the sun you have. I want to do solar panels on the roof of a little home. A little house, yeah. Yeah. Why not? I want a solar car. Help out with the grow. I like to have a solar car when they make an efficient one. That would be nice. Storage batteries on board, Yeah, if it's important, they can leave a message seeker, with the sun and wind here. Well, there's no reason to pay for electricity. You would think. You would think. I mean, they should certainly be taking advantage of that, and not you. You know, that would make the most sense. Take advantage of nature and not the people. But of course, they want to make a profit. I guess there's still the wiring and all of that, and tending the equipment and all of that, and repair, and they need to make money for that. Although I guess if you could set up your own system, throw up a windmill and lay out some panels, you don't have to pay for anything. Consent via certified mail if it's written and it matters. Yeah. In this city, my Prius run on electric all the time. Can't go fast enough to turn motor on. Yeah, well, I say that a lot, don't I? I don't know where to go conversationally. Anybody have any suggestions? My eye is twitching. Maybe if I see how things look without the glasses. Whoa. This eye is really weird today. This is the coffee stuff I ever bought. So don't get it. Okay? I would not recommend this. As kosher as it may be, I would not recommend it. I think I'm going to go. I'm very lucky. I get emails all the time saying I want a MacBook. I must have won 1,000 already. Never answer, always delete. Yeah, I get texts all the time telling me that I won something through through Amazon. Generally, that I want a new iPhone. That's generally what it is. And of course, it's all bogus. They want you to pay a fee of some kind. Yeah. So consequently, I don't have a new iPhone. I still got the old one. But I'm getting iPhone envy because they're up to 12 and I have a 7. So you can imagine the tension that's mounting. If living among dense population, I'd be happy for everyone to drive fancy golf carts in town, and would be cool to drive onto a train to park little car and then back back in the lounge for long travel. Oh, there we go. Oh, and then kick it in the lounge for long travel. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Actually, in Braidwood, nearby town here, people use golf carts quite a bit to get around. There's even a place that sells golf carts in town. So, or at least there was. I don't know if it's still there. The business is still there. I don't go into town much. Short and long distance trains to ferry our little cars between places. Cool idea. But yeah, little electric golf carts. Why not? That's what they, like I say, in Braidwood here. Used to see more of them, but people still use them around town. 20 years ago, there were more of them than there are now. But yeah, we should be using cheaper ways to get around. Back in the, well, up until the mid 70s, Chicago had a electric surface transportation, as well as, you know, subways and such. They had electric buses, overhead wiring, and they also produced their own electricity at the time. They had their own electrical generators, so they weren't connected to the city at all. And what happened was they tore all that shit down, and about 2 years later, we had a huge energy crisis in this country, gas crisis, and fuel prices skyrocketed, and they had all these buses on the street. When if they had stayed with the overhead electric system, they wouldn't have had to raise fares. Things would have been a lot better. So they did some dumb shit. Yeah. You know, but the wires were unsightly, I guess. Well, personal mobility devices being charged while ferried between places. That's a cool idea. San Francisco still has them. Yeah, I don't know if do they still have the overhead wiring and all that shit. Because I thought it was a dumbass idea to get rid of that stuff. Wow. See, nobody thinks, you know, let's just put some shit out there that pollutes instead. You know, fill a huge city with pollution devices instead. You know, because we can't go up 2 floors and look at the sky. So, dumb shit. Perhaps we will see new transport concepts in some of these new cities, which are currently being built from the ground up. Saudi Arabia has been doing big with it for a while, and rapid change continue. Yes, well, yeah, well, they believe in infrastructure change and support in what's happening here. You know, we're fighting with these 50 people in in the Senate to try to get some money to just repair what we have. You know, that's ridiculous. You know, you can't get 10 of them to vote our way to get shit done. It's absurd. That's what I'm saying. It's not just Chicago, it's the whole country. The whole fucking interstate system needs repair, refurbishing. Not just that, not just the interstate system. It's everything. You know, bridges countrywide. You know, everything is in disrepair. You know, the whole country's falling apart. And we ain't doing shit about it. Okay. And we got that goddamn bridge in Joliet that's being held up by pressure treated lumber. That's an interstate bridge. Okay. Things saying they about to spend big on infrastructures. Yeah, except they can't get it by. You know? They can't get that infrastructure bill passed. That's the one they're fighting with right now. So, you know, I saw an ad on television where they want to hire everybody in the construction industry. Okay, you need a job, come get it. So that's heartwarming. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. So it's nice to see that that they're looking for people and actually physically advertising for them. You know, whatever you do in the construction industry, they want you. You know, which I would imagine means they're paying union scale. So see what happens. Because that means putting people to work too, you know. And this nonsense about people are staying home because they're giving them money is absurd. Okay. Because how long can a few $1,000s keep you out of work? Okay. Honestly. I mean, even if you got a wife and a couple of kids, it's not going to keep you out of work that long. Yeah, you're right. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. State of California trying to spend big on major watershed projects that they may continue to feed the nation during the increased drought and fire pressure. Even the smoke fouls crops. Yes. Yep. Well, we're not cleaning the forests out there. That's a problem. You know, we got to get in there with the vacuum cleaners and shit, like Trump said. Yeah. We should have started cleaning earlier. Get all them fucking combustibles out of there. You know. It's California's fault that it burns. You know that. Strip the forest, yeah. Well, it's a brush. They're brush fires. You gotta brush them. Actually, you gotta shoot down. You gotta shoot down those Jewish fireballs that are coming out of the sky. Okay. The Israeli blue bombs or whatever the fuck they are. You know, the blue lights that are coming out of the sky. The Hebrew lights. Those got to go. That's what the problem is. The rays they're shooting out of the sky. That's what's starting the fires. That crazy broad in DC that they're actually letting stay in the fucking House of Representatives. That's what she said, remember? She was talking about the Hebrew lights coming out of the sky or some shit. So that they could, I think they were starting the fires or some shit. Wasn't that it? I don't remember. She's fucking nuts. No, she was going to AOC's office door and yelling through the mail slot this week. Yeah, she is crazy. Yeah, she's really out of her mind. Yelling through her fucking mail slot. You know. Yeah, I'm going to sign off, folks. What's this? The people politicizing on individual leaders to ignore the things they're doing. Like Cali's governor talking about watershed projects, but people ignoring it because he's talking it. Yeah, I understand what you mean. They should probably just announce it and not have him talk about it. You know, just say they announced today, blah, 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 and not put his name in it, you know, and then people would be cool with it. But because it comes out of his mouth, nobody's listening. You know, that's the way they ought to do that kind of thing. It's the way they release it. It should be just a press release and not a public statement. That might work better. Get their point across without him being the issue, because he's always the issue. You know, like Obamacare versus the Affordable Care Act. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. He's, they got to, yeah, they presented it wrong, you know. So people saying they hated Obamacare but loved the ACA, not knowing it was the same thing. Exactly. Yeah, we all know people for the most part are idiots, you know. So that's the problem, and it's something we have to face. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's just something that we have to deal with. You know, yes, they tell us they're stupid. It's, you know, it's an unfortunate thing, but I guess that's why they started the Electoral College to begin with, right? That's why they wrote that into the Constitution, because they knew, for the most part, people were stupid. Don't think for self, look to others for the heavy lifting. Yes. So they miss even basic stuff. Me too. I'm a fool as well. Well, I won't go so far as to say I'm a fool, but I mean, because I see a lot of people around me who are a lot more foolish than I am. Okay. When I was in the hospital having my back surgery, there was a fellow in the room with me who had fallen off a roof. And I was talking to this guy, and I thought he had suffered a head injury because of the way he acted and such. And he was asleep one time when his wife came in, and so she spoke to me for a while and said she was so glad that he was back to normal. And holy Christ, you know. Fool is as fool does, yeah. Each moment its own. Yes, indeed. But this, I thought, oh, this guy belongs on a roof, you know. That's what he does for a living. This guy belongs on a roof. Baked in the sun, I think, too long. But, you know, because he was definitely not right in the head. But if that was his normal, I guess that was his normal. But what you gonna do? Well, I think this is going to close it here, folks. It's a little after 6 here, and I'm still having trouble seeing. At least my nose stopped running. So I'm going to try to do a show on Tuesday, and we'll see what happens. See if YouTube fucks me over. If they do, I'm not going to do a Tuesday show anymore. So remember, there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.